Hi, I'm Corrina Gordon-Barnes, here to help you find peace and connection in any relationship that matters to you. One of our community said this to me. She said, my mum really prefers my brother to me, and it's been obvious my whole life, and now that he has kids, she prefers his kids to my kids, and she spends a lot more time with him and his family, and I just feel heartbroken. I feel completely left out. I feel rejected. I feel unloved. And this is a painfully common situation, so you may well be able to identify that a parent seems to prefer a sibling to you. And it may be that others see this too, that it's so blatantly obvious that a partner or a friend has said to you, wow, what's going on there? It's really clear that your sibling is preferred. And it may be that over the years you felt a sense of not measuring up, of not being worthy, like there's something that's wrong with you. There's something that must be deficient or defective in some way that your parent would prefer your sibling over you. And it can have a massive impact. You really may feel that this has impacted your self-esteem, this feeling of not being enough. So what do we do with this? Because if this is the reality, so if everyone would agree that, yeah, your parent prefers your sibling, what can we do about this? Well, when we don't want it to be this way, when we have that deep sense of disappointment, we have this extra level of noise that says it shouldn't be this way. I don't want it to be this way. It shouldn't be this way. I want my mom, my dad to love me more, to love me equally, to love me as much as my sibling. And that noise, that internal fight with reality, that noise creates a whole other level of pain. And it's completely reasonable to yearn for that. It's a completely reasonable yearning to wish that your parent loved you more. And just ask yourself this, has it ever worked? So has yearning for more love from your parent actually ever changed the love that they have for you? So we see that there's this heartbreaking futility of yearning for them to love you as much as your sibling or more than they currently do. So there's a way to actually face reality in such a way that it stops that internal fight. It quietens that noise. So just try this. Try looking at the situation really face on and just saying, yes, for whatever reason, it does appear that my dad prefers my sister, that my mum prefers my brother, that yes, I look at it and that is what is. So without that extra noise that it shouldn't be that way, just to face that. And yes, that might be deeply disappointing, but just to face that, okay, this seems to be what is. And when it's then quieter inside of you, to ask yourself this really powerful question. Would your parent choose to prefer your sibling? Okay, so imagine asking them, hey, do you deliberately prefer my sibling to me? And just imagine their reaction. So they might be absolutely horrified at the suggestion and just categorically deny it. Like, of course I don't prefer them to you. And just seem completely shocked at the idea. So it's not intentional in them. It's not deliberate. They're not choosing to prefer your sibling. And they may just not even realize, it may just not be their experience that they do. So we have this story then of having been this child less loved. But when we look at it like this, like, okay, so they wouldn't choose this. And when we look at maybe their love for us feels like 60% of what they have for our sibling. But what if, for whatever reason, this is 100% of what they have for us? So there's nothing wrong with you that is making them love you less. And there's also nothing malicious or deliberate in them that is making them love you less. It's just, can we blame them for not having what they don't have? If this is the love that they have for you, however disappointing that is, if that's what they have and they're doing the best that they can, there's a level of peace and acceptance that comes with this. That actually your parent is doing the very best that they can. And when you can look at it this way, that fight with reality can stop And all of that noise, that burden of believing that it should be a different way, all of that noise can quieten, and it can feel so much quieter inside of you. So if you would love this kind of peace and acceptance, if you would love that feeling of quiet inside of you when you're with your parent, when you're with your sibling, then do get in touch.